Listen, here's a strange thing for you. God is dead. Nietzsche said it. It was replicated. It became a commonplace. Okay, let's say. But look around you. Megachurches are packed. Authoritarian leaders are gaining ratings. People follow information gypsies, coaches, spiritual practitioners, and politicians who say, "I alone can fix this." If God is dead, why is his place never empty? That's the thing that's been bothering me for a long time. Why do we humans need someone who stands above? I don't just want to. That's exactly what you need, like the air. And it does not depend on education, on the country, on the era. It works everywhere and always. An atheist votes for a strong hand. The scientist goes to the astrologer. A liberal finds himself an infallible idol and defends him with a ferocity that any inquisitor would envy. Why? That's what I want to figure out. They usually say, well, it's a religion, it's a tradition, this is education, brainwashing, propaganda, lack of education, fear of death. I thought so myself. Long. It sounds reasonable. Give people knowledge, and they will no longer need gods and leaders. The Enlighteners thought so. The Soviet Union thought so. Militant atheism thought so. It didn't work. Moreover, sometimes the more educated a person is, the more sophisticated his version of the same impulse is. It's just that progress replaces God. The leader is the right side of the story. Holy Scripture is a scientific consensus that no one dares to question. The form is changing, the function is not. Wait, let's slow down. If it was just about ignorance or the fear of death, then with the growth of education and security, the need for authority would have to decrease. Scandinavia is the most educated, the most socially protected. There's less religion there, okay, but there is a cult of consensus that works with the same rigor. Fall out of it, and you're not a heretic, you're just the wrong person, socially dead. The mechanism is the same, just without a beard near the clouds. One anthropologist, I won't look for an exact quote now, but the gist is this, noticed. There is no known human culture without hierarchy and without a figure to whom the highest authority is delegated. 0 out of several thousand studied. This is not a bug. This seems to be a feature. Here's a look at how it really works. I was surprised myself when I started to dig into it. It all starts sooner than you think, from my father, or from someone who is in his place. The first experience of any person is helplessness, full. You can't do anything. There is someone big who decides whether it is warm or cold, full or not, safe or scary, and this someone is both a source of threat and a source of protection. He punishes, he forgives. He sets the rules of reality. This is the first version of God, before any religion, before any politics. And you know what? This pattern does not disappear. He's just looking for new objects. Freud called this transference. You may not like Freud, but the mechanism works regardless of whether you like the term or not. You meet a charismatic leader, teacher, politician, and something in you says, this is it. Not because he's right, but because he looks like the figure that once gave meaning and security. Look at Rome in the 3rd century. The empire is cracking. The barbarians are pressing in from the north. The economy is collapsing. The old gods are clearly not coping. Jupiter is somehow not very helpful with inflation and the plague. And then there's Christianity, which suggests there is a father. He sees everything. He's fair. He will punish the bad and save the good. Suffering has a meaning. Death has a sequel. It's not just a beautiful fairy tale. This is a functional response to an existential crisis. Now look at Germany in the 20s. The Weimar Republic, humiliation after the First World War, hyperinflation, unemployment, social chaos. And there is a man who says, we have an enemy, we have greatness, we have a leader who knows everything and will fix everything. Different gods, one prayer. Have you seen how charismatic politicians have been working in recent years? It doesn't matter if they are left or right, the mechanism is the same. They don't sell the program, they sell relationships. I can hear you. The elites are against you. I'm for you. They're lying, I'm telling the truth. This is not the language of politics. This is the language of religion. This is the language of a family in which the father is against the whole world, but always for you. Moreover, and this is important, the supporters of such leaders do not just believe them, they need to believe. Because the alternative is to admit that there is no adult in the room, that no one knows what to do, that we're all really alone. It's unbearable. Now wait, here's a counterintuitive thought that I didn't want to accept for a long time. What if the need for authority is not a weakness? What if it is adaptation? A group without a hierarchy is dysfunctional. This is shown by both primatologists and sociologists. In a crisis, horizontal structures are the first to fall apart. An army without a commander is a mob. A hospital without a head doctor is chaos. Maybe we don't need authority because we've been so broken. It's because it's a working coordination mechanism for creatures of our scale. The problem is not with the mechanism itself. The problem is that we apply it where it doesn't work, or we let those who know how to play it use it. And that's where the fun begins. Because everything I've been talking about isn't just about the people in my head. It's built into institutions. Take the state, any kind. It doesn't just govern, it sacralizes itself. Flag, anthem, eternal flame, victory day. The founders of a nation are always a bit holy. Their images are not discussed, their decisions are not disputed. The state appropriates the language of religion because only this language produces the right type of loyalty, not rational agreement, but faith. Or take the market. The invisible hand of the market is literally a theological concept. There is no hand. There are millions of decisions that no one controls and no one fully understands. But we need an image of who is behind it, who knows, who directs. Or take the media. The highest rated content is not the one that explains the difficulty, and the one who names the guilty and names the saviors. Because that's what we're looking for. A structure with authority at the top and an enemy at the bottom. We are building this car over and over. In politics, in economics, in culture, on the internet. And do you know what the strangest thing is in the end? I thought it was a conversation about religion or about politics. But the further I delved into it, the more I realized that this was a conversation about architecture. It's about how we humans are built from the inside out. What slots do we have, and what we put in them? The father slot is not going anywhere. It just fills up with different contents. God, the leader, party, a blogger with 1 million subscribers, a neural network that knows better than you. And here's what strikes me. The fiercest critics of religion are often the people with the most filled slot. It's just that there's something else there. Science as an institution of infallibility, the right ideology, the right leader. Authority does not die with God. He's just moving in. You know, I've been thinking about this for a long time, and I kept coming back to one question. Not, why do they believe that way? And who is sitting in this slot with me? That's probably the only question that makes sense to ask.